else's future.
But first, let me ask you. Help me understand what is stopping you from financially forward thinking. Let's go.
Yeah, wake up, check the bank account. Watch the numbers running out. Send the check to someone new. Generous is what I do. Walking down the leasing street. Cycle that I just repeat. Money rushing left and right. Gone before the end of night. Don't know the roof, don't know the
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
It's a personal rap, but it's still a trap.
forward thinking, not today. Tendency is here to stay. Generous contributions flow, helping that investment grow. Legal term, wrapped up in a piece so firm. Legal term, letting all my money burn. Hold up, pause the beat. You're making that generous monthly contribution, but are you building your legacy? Whether it's your first home or move up.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
Yeah, check the fact, yeah. Stuck in comfort, stuck in fear. That's why I'm staying here. If the pipe begins to leak, I don't even have to speak. But who pays for it really? But that comfort as a car. Count the equity. While I sit here paying rent, my future cash is already spent. Some days fast, some days slow. That's just how the tennis go. But if you listen to the sound, it's your money. I'm letting the ground call me.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
Helping their investment grow. Legal term, wrapped up in a piece so firm. Legal term, letting all my money burn. You pay a mortgage every month. It's a fact, it isn't blunt. The only question left to
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
the future that you lose. Every check that I have sent vanished in the void of red.
Stop the vanishing that.
Yeah. Forward thinking, that's the key to break the chain of tendency. Stop the generous supply. It is time for me to buy. Let's legal term, how I make the
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
Yeah. Don't perpetuate yourself in Tennessee. Make the move. William Karpeh. Helping you buy, sell, and invest with confidence. Pick up the phone, let's change the path. Call or text me. 1651-33044.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
Let's make it simple. Let's make it smart. Forward thinking. Forward living. No. Yeah. It's time to talk about the elephant in the room. Shit, William Karpeh. You're a real thug. We talking Minnesota.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
But first, let me ask you. Help me understand.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
Watch the numbers running out. Send the check to someone new.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future. Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
Shit, William Karpeh. Yeah, real tough.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
And invest with confidence. But first, let me ask you.
Help me understand what is stopping you from financially forward thinking. Let's go.
Yeah, wake up, check the bank account. Watch the numbers running out. Where they go? Send the check to someone new. Generous is what I do. Walking down the leasing street. Cycle that I just repeat. Money rushing left and right. Gone before the end of night. Don't know the roof, don't know the
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous.
They're setting up your escrow account for 12 months as your payment ladder, your insurance up front of $4,000. Joyce, you wanna grab the pen right there for Joyce? Thank you. They're setting up your escrow account for 12 months as your payment ladder, your insurance up front of $4,000. Okay, so here's your note here. Promise to pay note, okay? And again, it shows your loan amount. New American Funding.
Yeah, something can happen to my mom. I come to think about what day. You said 19, huh?
The 19th.
Yeah, something can happen to my mom. I come to think about what day. You said 19, huh?
The 19th. 19th.
Yeah, something can happen to my mom. I come to think about what day. You said 19, huh?
The 19th. For 12 months as your payment ladder, your insurance up front of $4,000. You wanna grab the pen right there for Joyce? Thank you. they're setting up your escrow account for 12 months as your payment ladder, your insurance up front of $4,000.
Yeah, something can happen to my mom. I can't think of what's more than. He said 19, yeah?
The 19.
Yeah, something can happen to my mom. I can't think of what's more than. He said 19, yeah?
The 19. They're setting up your escrow account for 12 months as your payment ladder, your insurance up front of $4,000.
Yeah, something can happen to my mom. I can't think of what's more than. He said 19, yeah?
The 19.
His future.
Forgiving all your welcome. It's impressively rap, but it's still a trap.
Forward thinking, not today. Tendency is here to stay. Generous contributions flow, helping that investment grow. Legal term, legal term. Wrapped up in a piece so firm. Legal term, legal term. Letting all my money burn.
Hold up, pause the beat. You're making that generous monthly contribution. But are you building your legacy? Whether it's your first home or move up. or
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
License for this.
Yeah, justified, yeah. Stuck in comfort, stuck in fear. That's why I'm staying here. If a pipe begins to leak, I don't even have to speak. But who pays for it really? But that comfort as a cost. Not the equity I lost. While I sit here paying rent, my future cash is already spent. Some days fast, some days slow. That's just how the tenants go. But if you listen to the sound, it's your money. I'm letting it the ground call me.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
Contributions flow, helping them investment grow. Legal term, wrapped up in a piece so firm. Legal term, letting all my money burn. You pay a mortgage every month. It's a fact, it isn't blunt. The only question left to
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
It's the future that you lose. Every check that I have sent vanished in the void of red.
Stop the vanishing act.
Yeah. Forward thinking, that's the key to break the chain of tendency.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
Yeah. Don't perpetuate yourself in Tennessee. Make the move. William Karpeh. Helping you buy, sell, and pass with confidence. Pick up the phone, let's change the path. Call or text me.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
Let's make it simple. Let's make it smart. For thinking. For living. Yeah. It's time to talk about the elephant in the room. Shit, William Karpeh. You're a real good. We talking Minnesota.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
They're setting up your escrow account for 12 months. You wanna grab the pen right there for Joyce? Thank you. Okay, so here's your note here. Promise to pay note.
All right, all right. I mean, for those of you who are perpetuating yourselves in tenancy, I think you saw your friend over there just making those generous contributions on a monthly basis. And I call it generous contribution. I mean, because every rent check you call that check, you call it rent. I mean, it's just a generous contribution. And so help me understand this 2026. I mean, what is stopping you from financially forward thinking? I think you can see, I saw the lady just now. I mean, you saw the lady just now who have began to think financially forward. But we have our special guest in studio. So hello everyone and welcome. My name is William Karpeh and I'm happy you are here with us today. Today we'll be talking about what? The MMCDC First-Generation Down Payment Assistance Program. This program can help what? Eligible home buyers in Minnesota with down payment support. So let me bring the financial expert on board. Okay, I am joined by our special guest, Fola. But there, so Fola, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me again, William. This is exciting. It's exciting, and what excites me more was just how many just tap into this and listen. So I'm hoping as they listen, they're taking action. So this is exciting. Thank you so much for having me here today.
All right, all right. Now, I mean, I always like to say, for those of you who are perpetuating yourselves in tenancy, just making those generous contributions. I mean, because you got no return on them. You get zero return from all those rent checks that you got. So help me understand. But that's why. Let's meet our lender. Meet your lender. Fola, please tell us a little more about your role.
All right. So good evening again. So I have been a mortgage lender. February this year made 26 year for me. So I've had the privilege to help a lot of folks that were renting to become homeowners. And most importantly, not just one time. I believe my top, in 26 years is I was able to purchase 13 homes for a family. 13. I wish I can showcase them and they can, tell you how it has changed their life. The millionaires today, definitely. Absolutely. Because of that. So welcome everyone. I know William is gonna make it amazing for us today. He always does, make it interesting even for you to learn and know where you're at and have a vision. I always tell everybody, dream big so that you have a clear path, and make sure you follow us through this evening, and at the end make the call. Book a time, with us. We'll be happy to walk you through the process and really see where you're at and what's that next step for you. Again, why should why should you be listening to me? So like I said, it comes with a lot of experience, and having helped thousands of individuals and families over the years. I've seen it all. So don't say, oh, my credit is not good. Oh, my job, oh, I don't have down payment. Don't diagnose yourself and do surgery yourself. Let the expert do that for you. So I'm honored again for William to bring me here today. I mean, I'm sure you guys will, you can tell the type of energy he brings, what he does. He has your interest in mind. I've never, seen someone with this energy, like really like, I'm not going to keep quiet. I'm just going to continue to tell you what is right, so that one day you will know that what, we're saying here makes a lot of sense when you're seeing people over and over again, like building wealth, massive wealth through homeownership. So again, thank you so much for having me. I am ready to dive in tonight.
All right, all right. For those of you who perpetuate yourselves, I mean, let me move the perpetuate from there. For those of you who are keeping yourself renting, I mean, being a perpetual, let me move the perpetual from there. For those of you who keep renting, every month you cut that rent check. I mean, few more weeks you are going to be cutting that check. You call it rent. I mean, it's just and you are no Salvation Army. I mean, you didn't fly across the transatlantic to come here and work double, back to back. I mean, all of the shit your employer can afford, and then at the end of the day, take the money and then dump it into the bank account. I mean, no wise man would do that. And so help me understand this 2026. I mean, what is stopping you from financially forward thinking? But let us talk about the key benefits of the program, as we have our financial expert in the house, Fola. Let's talk about the benefit. I mean, what makes this program so helpful? Help us understand, Fola.
All right. So we are talking about my favorite of all times. Like I told you, this has been 26 years coming. No other down payment assistance program have been like this first generation. There's been a lot of down payment assistance out there. This one, what makes it unique is the very short time that the program takes to forgive you, and also comes with zero interest and 100% forgivable in the amount of 30 up to $32,000. I want you to understand that. So this program is from, it's from the government, and this year is going to serve 700 families. 700 families. And once you are able to get a mortgage, underwriting approval, and take the home buyer education, we as lenders have the opportunity and the rights to be able to reserve this funds on your behalf. So, and it is used for your down payment and closing cost. If you qualify for conventional financing. Conventional, we look at that, once you have about 660 credit score, you'll be able to do that. I said, everyone that does this program, if you can find a way to get to at least 650, you can get into your home with literal zero money down. That's really what it is. Because you can pay your earnest money. Let's say you pay 1% on a 315, 3,005. On the closing day, we can get you that 3,005 back, because you are able, because earnest money is encouraged, but it's not a must in the mortgage transaction. We can do without it. So we can literally give you back, structure that loan, use the funds for the from the first gen to pay your down payment, to pay your closing costs. And the other funds outside of this that you will need is your inspection money. I always advise people, please save for your inspection, because it just teaches you the condition. It lets you know, it gives you the insight to the condition of the property that you are buying. It's essential. So yeah, that's the introduction of the funds. That's the introduction. It is, totally forgiven in 5 years, 5 short years. There's a lot of down payment assistance funds that if you obtain it, maybe you pay back when you sell the home, or, forgiven in 20 years. This just have the shortest term. So
Wow. I mean, this is huge, up to 32K.
yes.
0% interest loan and 100% forgivable. Unarguably, you will agree with me. So stop what? Stop dumping all of your hard-earned money into your landlord's pocket. Okay,
that's right.
Let us go to what? To our slide 4. Building generational wealth. I mean, Fola, help us understand. This presentation talks about building generational wealth, as you can see down there. I mean, what does that mean for the layman, for simplicity's sake? I mean, no lexicon here, no jargon. For simplicity's sake, my people on the street who want to understand. I mean, help us understand.
Yes. So, oh my God, this is the reason you invest in home ownership. Otherwise, I will have said, go rent. I mean, you're paying every month, but you're not just paying every month here. You're investing into your future. And let me let me share these customers, journey with you. So I told you that my top client, which is friends today, becoming friend, 13th property they've owned, 13. So the very first one, I'll just walk you through this. The very first one they bought, I met them almost about 20 years ago, and the first one was a small town home they bought, small town home, and they lived there for 3 years. They did not like the area, so they decided not to keep it, because I told them, I said, you can rent it and then move on to the next one. Because of the area, they're like, if you don't like the area, I don't want to keep a renter in this area. So they sold it in 3 years. They made $37,000. After they pay off their mortgage, they got a check, $37,000. So the second home they bought, I was able to get them repeat homeowner down payment money. At that time, it was $18,000. So they did not have to use all the money they got from the sale of the home, because they kept it to purchase a rental property in a different area that they believe it's safe for family, it's easy to rent. So, and I believe a few years, because we'll sit down, they told me, they said, our goal is to own about 20 homes. That's our goal. That's what they told me. How do we get there? I'm like, wow, you haven't even owned one yet. You're dreaming of 20. But I tell folks, please dream big, because you first of all have to dream about it, think about it before it shows up. Things just doesn't happen. You just doesn't wake up and own a home today. Things does not happen like that. You need to think about it. You need to, see it, like envision it, that this will happen, and then sit down with a consultant. What do I need to do? How do I get here? How do I do this? So each property just keep giving them money. Each property giving them money. When they were like 6 years into it, they started a group home, and they bought another one for group home. They bought the second one for group home. Now, when we sat down, when they bought this last one, they did not put a dime down. We look at their portfolio that they have, and then I was able to see, okay, now this home is worth 500. You purchase it at 350. We have 150,000 here. We have 100,000 here. They have, I mean, the home they live in is over $1 million. They have almost $600,000 in equity in that home. So literally they're millionaire, not because of they're smart or what they, it's because of what they've done. The strategy they did to continue to acquire homes because they know the value continue to go up. So that's what we called building wealth. And when you build this kind of wealth, you cannot use it all in your lifetime because you just keep compounding. Number one, you're going to enjoy your retirement because you won't have to work again. You just see your money working for you, cash flowing, money. You can take, you can sell a home, you can use it for whatever you want and continue to build it, continue to rent it and all of that. And when that, when now you're old and pass away, that's huge legacy for your generations to come. Because if you give it to your children will pass it on to their children's children. And that's a massive wealth building. And how does it all start? With your first property. It starts with that first property. So it's crucial, it's important, like William, we always say, stop generous contribution. That hurts. It hurts. So William, yeah, tell them.
I mean, you are hearing it from the financial expert. I mean, you are hearing it from the horse's mouth, not my mouth, okay? But the financial expert. Generational wealth means what? Creating something. And that is something that is very, very valuable that you will not use in your lifetime.
Yes.
Unless you care only about yourself. I'm not mindful of the fact that, there are some parents roaming around that only cares about themselves. And they say, what? To heck. They better find themselves. Yes, I work for mine. But there's nothing to see, but they say, I work for mine. But what? Even Proverbs.
Yes.
Says, a good man leaves an inheritance.
For his up to fourth generation. Yes.
Creating what? Valuables that can help your family, not only today, but also in the future. Only a home can be one of the first big steps. So thank you very much, Fola, for helping us to understand.
Yes.
But let us look at our next slide, okay? Who is eligible? Help us understand. Let us talk about eligibility and who this.
Yes, absolutely. Because you might be here and say, this all sounds good. How can I join in? All right. So I like breaking this down into 3 parts. If you want to get a mortgage loan, we have to look at number 1, your credit. Number 2, your income. And number 3, your down payment. So the states have really looked into this and say, hey, which part of these 3 does people struggle with the most? I'm going to tell you is the down payment piece of it. I'll say most people have a job. They're working, you have to pay your bills. So everybody, most people work. And number 2, some people have good credit, bad credit. That's kind of a mix. But I would say a ton of people actually just don't know how to save money. The money comes, they spend it. So, and that's why governments have brought this program out, that the biggest issue that we find, we're going to take care of it. And now you're left with credit and income. So, and I know William brought a good friend, Danny Brown, credit repair consultant on Monday. He's coming back again tomorrow. Tells you about how you can have your credit in a great shape so that you can be able to continue to invest in real estate as you wish. So we have to look at that credit to be able to buy and put very minimal money down into this program. I encourage people, you need that 650 credit score. If I do FHA, the program does not pay 3.5% down payment, but I can merge that with Minnesota Housing. So you're getting 32,000, you're getting 14,000. That is $46,000 that we can merge together to use as your down payment and closing cost. So I wanted to know that, and that's you're able to do that with that 650 credit score. However, if you're someone that say, oh, you know what, I have $10,000 saved, you can actually have 600 credit score, get FHA approval, even 580 credit score, get FHA approval, and enjoy these funds, to qualify based on that. And so, and of course, we're talking about the first generation. Don't let's forget about that. That means you've not owned a home before, and your parents have not owned a home before. So, and what does that mean? Now, being a first-time home buyer, it means that in the last 3 years, you have not owned a home. So, if that is you, definitely, you qualify for this, and you must occupy this property. You cannot take this money and use it as rental property. They want to serve a consumer to make sure they live a better life. They build wealth through homeownership. They're not talking about investment here. They're talking about your primary residence. Okay. And then household income, they have a cap. You cannot make more than $118,000. If you make more than $118,000, you will not qualify for this program. So, and it can be, single family residence. You can buy townhome. You actually can buy duplex with this property. You just have to live in one and rent the other part out as your primary residence. So, whoa, if I'm first time home buyer, that's what I'm going to jump on right away. I'll get that duplex. Use this money. Use the other side of the rent to just build wealth for yourself easily.
All right. I mean, for those of you who keep making those generous contributions at the end of the month that you call rent, help me understand this 2026.
Yeah.
What is stopping you from financially forward thinking? Talking about generational wealth. Compounding interest, as Albert Einstein would tell us, he who knows it earns it. He who doesn't lose it. And that's what generational wealth does. Build you up in exponential increasement wealth over time. Unlike you are depositing the money in the bank account and receiving 0.001 after 12 months. So help me understand. But let us look at what the forgiveness schedule. Fola, help us understand. What are they talking about down there? One of the most exciting parts of this program.
Yes. It's, every year. So again, 0% interest. And the $32,000 that that they're giving you, it's converting the assistance into pure homeownership equity. That's, it's as simple as that. It's like you met someone on your way, just out, and then somebody just tap you on the shoulder. Hey, Fola, I have $32,000 for you. You're like, what? 32,000? Yes, I have 32,000 for you. So what do I need to do to get that? Okay. You need to have, your credit, your income, make sure you don't own a home before, your parents don't own a home. And okay, so tell me, how much do I need to pay back? Because this is a lot of money you're giving me. No. After 5 years, it is on your way to zero balance. You don't owe anybody any money. So the year 1, 20% is forgiven. Year 2, 40% is forgiven. Year 3, 60% is forgiven. And then boom, after 5 years, you see the lien. They literally will present you with a lien release. Nothing is tied to your home. You don't owe this money. And what does it do right at that time? It turns to equity. That if you want, you can tell me, hey, Fola, we want to take some equity out of our home. You can do that at that time. We do that. We take the money out. It will be like a giant credit card. Then you become your own bank. You have your money in a line of credit. Anything you want, you access it. If you pay back, it becomes available again. So literally, you're your own bank. It's exciting.
All right. And that's the wealth strategy she's talking about down there. Becoming your own bank. But those who don't know, and this is what they say, some people make the argument that, the country is racist and, people see color. But I tell people, money is colorblind. America is comprising of two categories of people, the informed and the uninformed.
That's it.
Okay. And the informed gets to benefit what the uninformed do not know. And so becoming your own bank gives you a leverage, gives you a leeway, unlike you depositing the money in the bank account and after 12 months receiving what? 0.001%. Have your own bank and see how much you will reap after 12 months.
Yes.
But let us discuss about what? The home buying process. Fola, help us understand. Because you are the expert here.
All right.
Walk us through the process. What should buyers do first?
Yes. So, hey, that's what we're here today. You need to start from here with me and my team. Let's get you ready. We do a lot for folks on our team because we literally hold your hand. I was talking to, a buyer the other day and they're like, oh my God, they actually told me, if you're going to get down payment assistance, sorry, we don't do that type of loan here. We don't do it here. I'm like, what? So a lender literally just tell you they cannot help you down payment assistance. I say yes. Yeah. So I'm telling you, not a lot of people do what we do, but we have passion in doing it. We're honored to be part of your journey to home, to equity build, to legacy, to freedom, to peace of mind, to just enjoying your life. It all starts with meeting with us so that we can look at everything. Let's see, where your credit is at. If you need to be fixed, we have experts in that. If I see your income and I'm like, this cannot buy you anything, I have a way to say, hey, talk to my past clients at this hospital. They're hiring. Talk to this person. Because I literally tell my clients, if they're hiring at your job, when I know they have a good job, I'm like, tell me. Because I might have a client to send your way to improve their life. Not just say, oh, you don't qualify, your income is too low. No, we find a way to even get your income up. And we need to have you do home buyer education. We have a lot of resources for that. We'll help you sign up so that you can take the 8-hour class. And once you've done that, that's one of the the criteria you need to have to be able to enjoy these first generation funds. And once we do that, we're gonna look at get you your pre-approval. Look at your we need your pay stubs, your W-2s, bank statement. If you're W-2 earners, if you're self-employed, we need your tax returns. We'll need your bank statement. We'll review to see what you're earning because your earnings tells us what you can buy. Quick, because many people, these are the questions that people ask me all the time. Oh my God, how do I know what I qualify for? A quick exercise that you're listening out there, you can actually do this exercise for yourself. So let's say you're one person and your income is $6,000 gross income lender uses. Let's say your income is $6,000 a month and your credit is pretty good. It's over 660 that's a preferred. So that means you can buy, you can have, you can have up to 50% debt to income ratio. What does that mean? This 6,000 we divide into two. 3,000 on one side, 3,000 on the other side. The first 3,000 is your living expenses. We need you to keep, we will keep that. We will not touch that. That goes towards your food, gas, recreational funds, savings, utilities, insurance, all of the above. Then the other side, we leave it for your mortgage and minimum payment that you make on your credit. Let's say this scenario, this person have a car loan that they pay $500 a month. Let's say they have you know, a personal loan that they pay $250 a month, and we add both together, that's $750. Remember, we have $3,000 to use as buying power. That means the payment for your mortgage and everything on your credit. And we determine on the credit is $750. $750 minus $3,000, that's $2,250. Will be your mortgage payment. Now, what we do finally is crunch the numbers to have a payment of $2,250. How much of a home will you be able to buy? About $300,000. So that's really what we do, and that's why we need your, you know, pay stub, we need your W-2, we need your bank statement, so we can accurately calculate these things, and we would do a soft credit pull that have no impact, you know, on your credit. And so this funds, I mean, this program, you may have reserve, you may not, you will be fine if your credit, you know, is acceptable, and then we, you know, we got you pre-approved. We always advise though, don't let your account be at zero when you are purchasing a home, because you just want to be in your home and feel good. Oh, you know, let's decorate our home. Let's do this. You want to have some money. So I encourage you, even if you're getting this money, please start saving. Save some money so that can be, you can use that when you become a homeowner, and you will, you know, you will like to do something for your new home, to make it home, to make it yours the way you want it.
All right, all right. I mean, that's the financial expert. I think you. I mean, you heard her talking mathematics. I mean, when we went to grade school or high school, I mean, it was comprised of what do they say? Science and
science, hard, yep.
Science and what's the other stuff? But I went the other way. I never went the way of science. So,
yeah, science and arts. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, back then we call it what? Science and arts.
Yes,
okay.
And arts, yeah.
Our school were comprised of science and arts. So I mean, if you didn't trust yourself to cross numbers, you took the art side. If you wanted to avoid shame, you took the side of the art. I mean, you place yourself where you belong. And so I mean, you heard her down there. Apparently, she went on the science side, but I went on the art side. And so that's the why she just elaborated. She just elaborated about the 4 steps to access your MMCDC funds.
Yes.
Live now. Join us. Special guest here is Fola Badewa of Supreme Lending.
Yeah.
Contact her on what? On 612-423-5847. And let us share our strategy with you. If you cannot make it beyond the first step of meeting the lender, then we have someone. He came on the show yesterday, and he's going to be on the show tomorrow. If you did miss him, the man who will fix your credit or advise what you need to do to get you to go to the second step, third step, and the 4th step, and stop making this generous contribution. Okay, so currently in studio we have we have the arts and the science, trying to tell you how you can begin compound earning.
Yes.
Building generational wealth. Because he who uses it knows it, but he who don't feels the impact. So I mean, from contract to closing, Fola, I mean, help us understand.
Yeah.
Help us understand. And for those of you who are perpetuating yourselves in tenancy, you know, just making those generous contributions on a monthly basis. I mean, help me understand this 2026, because I just can't comprehend how you would work all of the shift. And I know a lot of people people, I mean, whenever someone tell me they have beyond 2 jobs, I get sick. Some people do it, some people are doing it now, but I don't know how to manage, you know. But help me understand, after you work all of those shit, save the money at the end of the day and dump it into the bank account of the landlord. What is stopping you from financially forward thinking? So help us understand, Fola, from contract to closing.
All right, now the fun part. You've met with us. We've dissected exactly where you're at. We've gave you a super clear plan, and now you're here. You have the money. You have the letter from MHFA. I mean, from MMCDC. You have your reservation money, so you can shop with confidence. And once you find that home, and then we will now put the numbers together. So we tell you what the payment is going to be, you know, how everything is going to look. We'll see what the interest rate is out there. And then we'll have you get your insurance. We'll, you know, we'll look at what the taxes is. And, you know, once everything is set with the new loan in the system, we send your loan to underwriting. By the way, before you get this fund reservation, we've already sent you to to our underwriter to have underwriting approval. So this loan is just super smooth because it's like you're shopping with confidence. It's like cash because you're underwriting approved. You have the reservation money in your hand. You've done the class. So the second underwriter just pretty quickly, just like, oh, we get them pre-approved for, 400, they purchase 495. We put that together and underwriting, come back and say, yep, everything looks good. You're clear to close. And on the closing day, the funds get transferred over to pay your down payment and closing costs up to 32,000.
All right. Let us look at our next slide. Helpful tips for buyers. I mean, what are some simple tips for buyers who want to prepare now? I mean, just now.
Yes. So I will say, in my own opinion, you need to do things fast, fast, fast. So I was reading on something and the numbers shocked me. They said 3% of population. No, sorry, they didn't even say 3%. They said 1 to 3. 1 to 3% of population act fast. I'm like, what? So they said the other 97% drag their feet. They shuffle through life. They get to it when they get to it. They just nothing's motivating them. Nothing is making them, really hear what everybody's saying. So I challenge you today to rise up to be one of the 1 to 3% that act fast. Because the people that act fast, they benefit so much because they're acting fast. Just imagine if you're one of the 700 families that this fund is for. That means you are ahead by $32,000. You got a gift. Think about your old journey of life. When somebody even give you $1,000, some people don't even have that in their life. Talk less of somebody give you 5,000 or even 10,000 or even 20,000. We're talking about 32,000 cool cash. Please do not miss this. Move fast, act fast. Reach out to us right away. Reach out to William. She's gonna make sure he's gonna make sure he gets you my way so we can look at credit right away. Call me. I'm gonna make sure I get you pre-approved so I can send you back to William so you can start, looking for your new home. Act fast. That's what we're talking about here. Let us review everything. Don't figure out, I cannot do anything. My credit has just been bad forever. It cannot, there's nothing that can happen. No, do not say that. Stay connected to us. Reach out immediately. That's going to be the most important message here today. Then I can remind you of everything I've said. But once you reach out, you're one step to building wealth, to living that legacy for your children, and building wealth through homeownership and setting good stage for your retirement. Because you're going to enjoy your retirement. You're going to enjoy your life before you get to retirement. You're going to leave good legacy. just as the word of the Lord says. You're going to leave good legacy. People are going to love you because you care about others.
All right, all right. I mean, live now, our special guest in studio is Fola Badewa of Supreme Lending. Give her a call today on 612-423-5847. Because what she's sharing with you the strategy. Our call to action. I mean, help us understand, Fola.
Yes. So take that first step towards home ownership. Take that first step. That's the best you can do today. Reach out. Let's see where you're at. And then we can map out a great plan to reach there. I tell everyone that comes my way, one thing I'm gonna share right away is our team, we're different. Probably because we've done this so long, and we see how we've impacted others, how our life has been impacted, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna there's a strategy that we will use for folks out there. When you meet with us, we're not just buying that home for you. We're giving you a strategy for 5 years. After 5 years, we want to be able to look at your portfolio and say that you built $1 million in investment. What does that entails? Let's say your first home, you purchase a duplex and it's 400,000. If you're buying by yourself, you will only qualify for like 250. But because you take that step, you bought that duplex, maybe let's say 450. And we will leave that. I mean, we will now look at that after 3 years, 4 years, see the equity you built, take that out, buy that next property. Maybe that next property is another, $500,000, home. Maybe at that time we're able to buy fourplex for you. And in between the mix, we will make sure you keep 401k at your job if your job have that. If it doesn't, we will introduce you to how you can invest and how you can, invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, so that you can have that compounding effect. And it's so in short 5 years, you'll be able to sit down with you and do that review. And you what? I have $1 million in investment that's giving back to me over time. That's a promise to you, not just buy you that first home and leave you alone. No, our relationship begins after that first home because of many things we're planning to do to help you build wealth through homeownership. Again, thank you so much for having me today. It's always my pleasure to give back what I know, what I've enjoyed, to just give back. So thank you, William, for your time. Always amazing. Please, guys, no more generous contribution. Let's get to it.
All right. For those of you who are perpetuating yourselves in tenancy, just making those generous contributions on a monthly basis. I mean, help me understand this 2026. But before we close, I just want to remind everyone that we are helping guide you through the home buying process, divulging to you the wealth building strategy using what? The compounding interest effect. Because saving the money in the bank use insignificant, zero, no returns. For those of you who believe in susu, jangi, whatever you call it in your vernacular or language or your tribe. And this is why our community is left behind. And when something happens in the community, they call out for what's the thing they GoFundMe. I mean, what should someone when you are planning a wedding, you don't want to call set up GoFundMe. Why is it when something happens in the community you request for GoFundMe? It is because what? You rely on what? Susu, Jangi, or the bank that will keep your money and invest it. Receiving compounding interest and giving you what? 0.001% after 12 months. So help me understand. Okay? But if you are ready to take the next step, then what? Connect with Fola, okay? Of Supreme Lending, who is live now in studio. Give her a call today on 612-423-5847. 5847. Schedule a meeting and let us talk. Let us talk about your goals. Okay? So Fola, what? Thank you very much. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing this. There's valuable information, I will say. Valuable. This information cannot be paid. And this is why Robert Kiyosaki says that what? Financial education is not taught in school. And this is why the vast struggling majority remains lagging behind. It's taught around the dinner table. And in some instances, in a conversation like this.
Yep.
Okay. So thank you so much. We cannot underestimate or devalue your time for bringing us this important information. And thank you to our audience out there for your time and your attention and your support as we look forward to working with you. Until next time, stay encouraged, okay?
Yeah.
Stay prepared and let us make your next move simple and smart.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a good
See
rest of your evening.
someone thought financially smart today, and I hope that you will be the next person. Okay. So thank you very much, Fola. We appreciate that.
Thanks so much for having me, William. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
And I hope you be the next one.
Yes.
You wanna wrap it up?
Help me understand.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
Watch the numbers running out. Send the check to someone new.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
Money rushing left and right. Gone before the end of night.
Every month you send a check. You call it rent. I call it a generous contribution to someone else's future.
They're setting up your escrow account for 12 months as your payment ladder. Thank you. And again, it shows your